But once California's going red. They had a big election. It was a great blowout. Took a blue seat after what, 10, 15 years, maybe longer, that it was Democrat. California, your time's coming. It's time to be Reagan country again. If you are in California, keep protesting. Still proud of you. Just don't give up fighting. I'm telling you, keep it up. You're doing good. I've never imagined I'd see California do the job they're doing. Next, we have Hungary. Conservative government sounds alarm on Facebook News. Soros Oversight Board. Boy, is that a surprise or what? Hungarian government is sounding the alarm over a powerful new oversight team for content sharing on Facebook, denouncing it was a Soros Oversight Board. Hungary Prime Minister Vladitor, excuse me if I cannot pronounce her name, Orban, is something of an acromenace, excuse me, to George Soros, a 89-year-old pro-open borders plutocrat. Basically, he's a Illuminati. He's a piece of crap. We'll just skip that part because it ain't really that important. Soros, in turn, has wages a sustained public relations and lawfare campaign against Orban, alleging that the Hungarian leader is attempting to run a Central European university which is funded out of the country and attempted to overturn a Stop Soros package from legislation, intend to make non-governmental civil society organization, the NGOs, be more transparent about their sources and foreign funding. Sources not only pick fights with Hungary, conservative leadership, however, also turning his influence and fortune against targets, including the U.S. and Brexit and Facebook, and most recently, Facebook boss Mark Zuckerberg. That really does surprise me. He's going after Zuckerberg because Zuckerberg is a bot. He is not human. He doesn't really care. He's very liberal. Zuckerberg might seem a strange target for Soros, but the left liberal explained his grievance against the tycoon. In January, opposition editorial for the New York Times, namely that he has been insignificantly vigorous in curbing the ability of President Trump and his supporters on social media to get him reelected. To us, this really is not surprising at all because he has also funded Antifa and many others to, let me see what goes in the comment. The Hungarian government really does not like Soros. They banned the NGOs from operating there. Good. Isn't Hungary the one who wants him? I think they want him arrested. I think I heard something like that. Happening a couple days ago. This is kind of big, you know. Let me get my mouse over there. Okay, hold on. There we go. Breaking. Grinnell declassifies full text of Susan Rice January 20th, 2017 emails about secret Oval Office meeting. You are screwed, lady. State Government Affairs Committee Chairman Ron Johnson of Wisconsin wrote a letter to the U.S. Attorney General William Barr on Monday requesting he declassify the remaining portions of Susan Rice January 2017 emails to herself about secret Oval Office meeting with the coup cabal. Let's see. I request a review of the declassification and remaining position of Ambassador Rice in 2017 email, providing it to my office, Johnson wrote, recalling Senator Grassley's uncovered a bizarre plenty declassification emails former Net Secretary Advisor to Barack Obama. This is absolutely true. They have been leaked to WikiLeaks. Excuse me. Let me see here. Recalled Senator Grassley uncovered a bizarre plenty declassified emails. Oh yeah, I just read that. Excuse me. Donald Trump inaugurated his day. Grassley declassified the entire email. However, it has not been released to the public yet. Kimberly Stendrell, source by saying acting DNI Richard Grenla is declassified full text of the 2017 of her emails. Part of the emails have been released and part remained redacted. It has been sent to the DOJ. Let's hope Congress gets a hold of it. Yep, they need to declassify everything. Totally. Kimberly wrote, breaking source to the acting DNI. Dressa has declassified text. Okay, this is what I wrote. On February 18th, Grassley posted this official on the Senate website. Ambassador Rice apparently appears to have used this email document from 2017 Oval Office meeting with Obama, FBI Director James Comey, and former Deputy Sally Yates regarding Russia influence in the 2016 presidential election. In particular, Ambassador Rice wrote, President Obama began a conversation by stressing his commitment to ensure that every aspect of this issue is handled by the intelligence agency and law enforcement communities by the book. President stressed that he is not asking about intelligent or interesting ensuring anything from a law enforcement perspective. Excuse me. He related that our law enforcement team needs to proceed as it normally we would by the book. Grassley said in a letter to Susan Rice, it strikes me as odd that among all the activities in the final moments of the final days of the Obama administration, you would feel the need to send yourself such an unusual email preparing a document, a conversation involving President Obama in the administration with the FBI regarding Trump-Russia investigation. In addition, despite the claim that President Obama reportedly told Mr. Comey to proceed by the book, supplemental questions have concerned about whether officials at the FBI as well as the Justice Department and State Department actually did not proceed by the book. Senator Johnson wanted the remaining portion of Susan Rice's declassified so that the American people know what happened and the secret Oval Office meeting shortly after Donald Trump was sworn into president. Now we're heading really full force into Russiagate. That a lot of people still haven't figured it out. Now, we who have done our research, the Q people have really done good. I'm kind of neutral on Q, but that's cool. I don't care. You're fine. Do what you do. But I have to admit, you guys are really good at what you do, at decoding this stuff. But we also got a lot of these letters through WikiLeaks. And there was a document dump. Big time. But you also got to remember that we have... Let me find it for you. Here we go. That's not it. That James Clapper had mentioned this on his own. We know from not only from the emails, but from Clapper himself. Get it running for you. Okay. Yeah, it's not going to run, is it? Come on. All right. Okay, I have it queued up. I don't know why it's not running. That's really odd. There we go.
The message I'm getting from all this is apparently what we were supposed to have done was to ignore the Russian interference, ignore the Russian meddling and the threat that it poses to us. And oh, by the way, blown off what the then Commander-in-Chief, President Obama, told us to do, which was to assemble all the reporting that we had available to us, and put it in one report that the President could pass on to the Congress and to the next administration, and while we're at it, declassify as much as we possibly could to make it public, and that's what we did. It's kind of disconcerting now to be investigated for having done our duty and done what we were told to do by the President.
By the President. By the President himself. That's damning in itself. There's a full confession right there. And I hope the hell they have in front of Congress under oath. They're still trying to get Hillary there. She's fighting it in appeals. She doesn't want to face Judicial Watch. So this is still very much an ongoing declassification when it comes to emails. There's still some we don't know. All right, you have a good night, David. Glad you stopped by. Appreciate it. Breaking declassified Susan Rice emails confirm Michael Flynn was personally targeted in the Oval Office meeting. For some of those who are not paying attention, this is what's been going on. On January 20th, 2017, President Trump was being inaugurated from White House National Security Advisor Susan Rice sent him a bizarre email detailing a June 5th meeting between her, Obama, and Vice President Biden on Deputy General Sally Yates, and fired a formal federal bureau investigation of James Comey. In the email portrays of which were not declassified until recently, Rice recorded that Flynn, who at the time was the incoming national security advisor for Trump, was personally described and targeted during the meeting with Obama. Now, General Flynn used to work for that administration, and he had a disagreement with him at the time. Let's see if I can blow that up for you. Well, I can't blow it up for you. It says, on June 5th, briefing by IC leadership on Russia hacking during 2016 presidential election, President Obama, a brief following on conversation with FBI during James Comey and Deputy Sally Yates, the Oval Office, and Biden and I were present. President Obama began the conversation by, it's really small, guys, sorry, stressing his concern, comments of, I can't even read that. It's just way too small. And I do not have my reading glasses. Let's see. There we go. That's a lot better. The conversation in every aspect of the issue is handled by the intelligence and law enforcement committees. By the book, the president stressed that he is not asking about or including anything from the law enforcement. We already went through that. From a national security perspective, however, President Obama said he wants to be sure that as we engage with the incoming team, we are mindful and assertive if there's any reason that we can't share information fully as it relates to Russia. Director Comey, let's try a little bit bigger. There we go. Director Comey affirmed that he is pursuing or processing by the book as it releases the law enforcement. From national security perspective, James Comey said that he does not have some certain that incoming NSA Flynn is speaking frequently with the Russian ambassador Kislyak. Comey said that he could be an issue as it relates to sharing sensitive information. President Obama asked if Comey was saying that the NSC should not pass sensitive information related to Russia to Flynn. Comey replied, he added that he had no indication thus far that Flynn has passed classified information to Kislyak, but has known that the level of communication is unusual. So they had him in his sights from the beginning. And once again, they were trying to already frame Michael Flynn. Well, thank God that finally that he is been found innocent by the DOJ, but we're still waiting on the Judge Sullivan court to drop charges, which he is refusing. Now there's a lot of legal battles that's going on still, and eventually this will be dropped. There's no doubt about this at all. Let's see. Next story is Executive Robert F. Kennedy Jr. drops new bombshell. Bill Gates. Coronavirus vaccine will pay out billions in profits to Dr. Fauci's agency. That is really big news. That is really, really big news. If you are one of the millions of Americans wondering why Dr. Fauci is vigorously cheerleading and praising the coronavirus, vaccine for all Americans, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says, follow the money. Bobby Kennedy Jr. dropped a bombshell on the Thomas Paine podcast, detailing an apparent agreement between the National Institute of Health and Bill Gates, backing pharmaceutical companies that he has best chance at point to securing lucrative contracts for national coronavirus vaccine. While doing research, I have found this out. It is true. And that puts the government in bed with the big pharma and Gates. They could pay out as much as 50% of the profits to the NIH, the parent agency that employs Fauci, who again is lobbying for the vaccine. Does Fauci get a cut in the bounty, or is he already been cut in? Federal officials are not commenting on Kennedy's alarming information, but the NIH is a key player in concluding what vaccine to approve for coronavirus, and the NIH government would profit wildly. So obviously there is big money, and there's gonna be, but Fauci has always been on the side of the Dems. He's always been there with Bill Gates. He's been there during the bird flu with President Obama. I don't even like to call him president. He's not even a damn citizen. He's from Kenya. He says so himself. But when you understand this, and I have not actually confirmed what I've heard, that Fauci is being investigated. I have not confirmed that yet, or at all. I do know that he has met with Soros, Bill Gates, Nancy Pelosi, and all the other clowns in the Democrat Party. So, back to the coronavirus and the governors, AG Barr orders DOJ to start investigating into state violations, constitutional rights, and civil liberties, which goes back to the beginning of Virginia, West Virginia. And I'm sure our wonderful governor, Gretchen Whitmer, will be one of them. According to AG Barr, some states might be in for more than just a slap on the wrist for their overreach politics during the coronavirus pandemic. Gateway pundit, the U.S. Attorney on Monday issued a 2-page memo ordering U.S. attorneys to be on the lookout for state, local directives that could be violating constitutional rights and civil liberties to individual citizens and the coronavirus pandemic. She further said that it is believed that the state and local officials have overstepped their boundaries of authority by issuing lockdowns in Michigan and New York. Orders are not only suppress their position's ability to issue such orders that violates the constitutional rights of citizens. We are not citizens. We are not prisoners. As a Department of Justice explains recently in guidelines state the localities takes talking steps to battle the pandemic, even in times of emergencies. Then responsible and temporary restrictions are in place on rights, First Amendment and federal statutory law prohibiting discrimination against religious institution and religious beliefs. That goes to the churches. All of our churches have been shut down. Hey, Henry, how you doing? There are many people who still want to go to church and have been paid dearly by fines. They have not been able to go in at all to worship. This is another one of our rights being violated, not only being treated like children and not being able to work. And now our governor here is complaining about firearms, which is our Second Amendment. So there's a whole heap a lot of trouble coming their way. There really is. And when it comes to Biden, let me check this real quick. Okay. Now there has been a allegation towards him of sexual acts of abuse. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm reading. Let's see, it says, here are all the times Joe Biden has been accused of acting inappropriately towards women and girls. Well, we got video of that, and I can show you real easy. Former Vice President Biden, the progressive Democrat presidential nominee, faces highly scrutiny over the past counts towards women. 8 women have alleged that Biden either touched them inappropriately or violated their personal space in ways that made them uncomfortable. One of these women, Tara Reid, alleges that Biden sexually assaulted her in '93. Biden is unequivocally denied assaulting or harassing her. Biden also has been criticized for reportedly commenting on the physical appearance of women on the campaign trail and for refusing apologies for his behavior. Over the last 4 years, Vice President Biden has faced scrutiny over his interactions with women, as well as his referral to apologizing for his controversial behavior. In March 2020, former Senator Tara Reid alleged that Biden sexually assaulted her while she was working in the office in '93. Biden also equivocally denied assaulting or harassing her. Reid. 8 women, including Reid, have accused Biden of touching inappropriately or involving their personal space or invading. in ways that made them feel uncomfortable. Biden released 2-minute video after the intel allegations were made public in April 2019, but it was criticized of giving what critics demand a non-apology apology, in which he said he would try to do better, move forward. Is that kind of like when he said that you shouldn't hit a woman unless you hit you first? How many times have we seen, and I got video many times, even CNN did a piece on him of his inappropriate touching of women and little girls. He is a dirtbag. Biden called a woman at one point a dog face. Yeah, he did. Dog face pony show. You know, listen, Democrats, is this the kind of person you want to be your nominee? You guys, I don't know. I think y'all jump ship and come over to the Trump train. He's much more well-mannered, loves his wife, and everything. He's a hell of a good guy. And these Democrats do this all the time, as far as politicians. Now, this Tara Reade her mom did call in the Larry King show back then. So she is kind of credible. I think I might have I got distracted with something else, but another piece, and I will try to find it, that also backs up. It actually was an interview. I remember it was an interview with her that backs up her claim. She still sticks to that story. But Biden has a real problem. There's plenty of video, once again, of him smelling little girls' hair. There are video, how can he deny it, of him inappropriately touching wives of cabinet members or somebody on the campaign trail. How many times have you heard him say he likes to go a story about him going into a pool and little boys going underwater and watching his hair float up? That's a sick man. You really want to vote for this guy? He's a pedophile. And I'll say it right out. That's what he is. He's got a real problem. You are more than welcome to come over to the Trump train. You are more than welcome. But I should get a video just for the heck of it and just play the hell out of it. Let's see. Let's see if I got these set up. Well, I'll wait. I'll play it next time. I want to be sure I got the right ones. I played him many times before where he's doing this. And you also seen that he was touching a lady in a restaurant. He was sitting down. He had his hand on her knee. And her husband, boyfriend, really didn't like it too well. He actually put his hand on a cop. Put his hand on a trooper's knee. He needs to keep his hands to himself. That's all I got to say about it. Never before I go really off, because it's gross. It is really disgusting. With the 2020 elections just around the corner, we're getting real close. And I'm gonna do a shameless plug for John James of Michigan. Please support this man. He is running for Senate, and we need him in there. So please go to his webpage. I've met him many a times. I have done some volunteer work for him. He is a very, very gracious man. So that is John James running for Senate in Michigan. Look him up. Democrats are going to try it again. Here comes the shit show, folks. House Democrats tell Supreme Court they are impeaching Trump again by 2021. Well, it looks like they've already lost. Well, we already knew that, though. House Democrats told the Supreme Court on Monday they need access to secret grand jury materials because they are still investigating President Donald Trump on the Russia collusion. Holy shit. If this isn't obsession, I don't know what it is, guys. They want to try to impeach him again. I think that's all that really needs to be said. It really does. Oh my God. I don't know what's wrong. How can you Democrats vote for these maniacs? They're totally off their rocker. And they're spending your money as well as ours. In this feeble pursuit that turns into a real shit show. Trump threatens states over expand access by mailing vote. This is a fact. I got one in the mail yesterday, actually, and so did somebody else. President Trump threatens to withdraw funding from state to state working, extending access to mail-in voting, amid the coronavirus pandemic on Wednesday morning. Mistaking the action by certain securities, the state of a state, and basically accusing states of falsifying voter fraud. That's how Democrats do. Mr. Trump accused Michigan and Nevada of sending illegal vote by mail ballots to voters. Michigan, however, is sending applications to absentee ballots to all registered voters, not ballots themselves. In Nevada, all active registered voters will receive an absentee ballot. Michigan and Nevada also both have Democratic governors. Although Nevada is a Republican Secretary of State, several states with Republican governors, such as Iowa, Georgia, Nebraska, and West Virginia, have also chosen to send absentee ballot applications to all registered voters. Maryland, with a Republican governor, is sending ballots themselves to voters. Breaking: Michigan sends absentee ballots to 7.7 million people ahead of the primary and general election. This was done illegally and without authorization by a rogue Secretary of State. I will ask to hold up funding to Michigan if they go down this voter fraud path. Mr. Trump wrote in one tweet. Mr. Trump has feuded with the state newly elected Governor Whitmer and is scheduled to visit the state Thursday. He's going to Ypsilanti. He's going to go visit a GM plant. Michigan Secretary of State Jacqueline Benson reported to Mr. Trump's tweet and defended the state move to promote mail-in voting. I also have a name. It's Jacqueline Benson, and we sent applications, not ballots. Just like my GOP colleagues in Iowa, Georgia, Nebraska, and West Virginia. Mr. Trump signaled out Nevada in his second tweet. State Nevada thinks that they can send out illegal voting by mail ballots, creating a greater voter fraud scenario for the state and the U.S. They can't. If they do, I think I can hold up funding to the state. Sorry, but you must not cheat elections, Mr. Trump wrote. I totally agree. I have it on my table right now. I got one. Yep. That's all I'm going to say. We will see how this plays out. It should be very interesting. If they hold up funding, I will agree with it. And I won't hold it against the president because our governor, Nevada's governor, are cucks. They simply are. They're cucks. And I'm not ashamed to say it. Senate panel approves subpoena related to Hunter Biden's work in Ukraine. That boy is screwed. We're not going to go through the timeline, and I don't like these either. So I can't really read a whole lot of it, which I'm not going to subscribe to the Wall Street Journal. Now here's the kicker. Here is something very, very interesting. I really hate when they do that. They just want you to subscribe and buy their stupid paper, which I'm not interested in. I'm interested in the story. Now, we have Italian. We're going to go back to Mr. Gates. And I hope this really, really happens. I really do. Italian politician demands Bill Gates arrested for crimes against humanity. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, ma'am. Sarah Cardell, a member of parliament for Rome, denounced Bill Gates as a vaccine criminal and urged the Italian president to hand him over to the International Criminal Court for Crimes of Humanity. Dude, where is he? Let's lock him up. Lock him up right now. Take him to Italy. Now we say do that to Soros. So she also explained that Bill Gates' agenda in India and Africa, along with the plans to chip the human race through a digital infection program, ID 2020. As reported by Great Game India editor in 2015. It's where Italians who expose secret Chinese biological experiments with coronavirus. The video, which was broadcast in November 2015, shows how China's scientists were doing biological experiments on a SARS contracted virus believed to be coronavirus, diverted from bats and mice, asked whether it was worth the risk in order to be able to modify the virus and completely capacitate the human organism. So there is that, and I will look into this further. An extraordinary 7-minute speech met with wide applause. Sarah Carmel, the member of parliament for Rome, said that Italy had subject to a holy inquisition of false science. And I will play this video for you. I was glad I was able to find this. I want to look at this real quick. Maybe we'll get a video. Let's see. I didn't actually click. Nope, it doesn't go to a video, unfortunately. So, here is the Italian parliament member.
Il potere assoluto non nasce con un'imposizione dall'alto, ma dalla scelta di individui che si sentono più protetti rinunciando e concedendo la propria libertà ad un terzo. In virtù di questo, voi proseguite anestetizzando le menti a base di mass media comprati, a mucchina e PNL, con parole come regime, consentire e permettere, fino al punto di permettervi proprio di normare anche i nostri legami e i sentimenti e certificare i nostri affetti. Quindi, in questo senso, la fase 2 non è nient'altro che la prosecuzione della fase 1, si cambia solo il nome, come già avvenuto peraltro per il MES. Abbiamo capito che non si muore di certo per il solo virus, ed allora si potrà soffrire e morire, grazie a voi, a norma di legge per la miseria e la povertà. E come nei migliori regimi, la colpa sarà scaricata solo e unicamente su noi cittadini. Ci togliete la libertà e dite che ce la siamo cercata, al grido del dividi et impera. A rimetterci soprattutto i nostri figli, anime violentate in accordo con il garante, si dice, dei loro diritti e delle cismai varie. Sarà allora concesso il diritto alla scuola solo con un braccialetto per abituarli alla libertà vigilata, ai TSO schiavisti e ai lager virtuali, in cambio di un monopattino e di un tablet. Il tutto per assecondare gli appetiti di un capitalismo finanziario il cui motore è il conflitto di interessi, ben rappresentato dall'OMS, il cui primo finanziatore è il noto filantropo e salvatore del mondo, Bill Gates. Lo sappiamo tutti ormai. Bill Gates già nel 2018 profetizzava una pandemia, poi simulata lo scorso ottobre nell'Event 201, in accordo con gli amici di Davos. Ed ormai da decenni si prodiga nello sviluppo di piani di depopolamento e controllo dittatoriale sulla politica globale, puntando ad ottenere il primato su agricoltura, tecnologia e energia, e dice, testuali parole riprese da una sua dichiarazione: se facciamo un buon lavoro con i nuovi vaccini, la sanità e la salute riproduttiva, possiamo diminuire la popolazione mondiale del 10-15%. E continua, aperte virgolette, solo un genocidio può salvare il mondo. Grazie ai suoi vaccini è riuscito a sterilizzare milioni di donne in Africa, ha provocato un'epidemia di poliomielite che ha paralizzato 500.000 bambini in India e ancora oggi con il suo DTP causa più morti della stessa malattia, così come con i suoi OGM sterilizzanti progettati da Monsanto e donati così generosamente alle popolazioni bisognose. Il tutto mentre sta già pensando di distribuire il tattoo quantico per il riconoscimento vaccinale e i vaccini ad mRNA come strumenti di riprogrammazione del nostro sistema immunitario, oltre a fare diversi affari anche con le multinazionali che possiedono le infrastrutture 5G negli Stati Uniti. E allora in questa tavola imbandita c'è tutto il deep state in salsa italiana. C'è la Sanofi che insieme alla già collusa Glaxo, gli amici per intendersi di Ranieri Guerra, di Ricciardi e del noto virologo che noi paghiamo a 2.000 euro ogni 10 minuti per le presentazioni in Rai, sigla accordi con le società di medicina per l'indottrinamento dei medici del futuro, facendosi beffe della loro autonomia di giudizio e del loro giuramento. Ci sono le multinazionali high-tech come la Romana Engineering, amica tra l'altro del nobile Mantoan, o la Bendy Spoons della Pisano, per il controllo e la gestione dei nostri dati sanitari, rispetto dell'agenda europea ID 2020 di identificazione elettronica, che ricorre proprio alla vaccinazione di massa per ottenere una piattaforma di identità digitale, tra l'altro in continuo con la cessione dei dati già avviata da Renzi all'IBM. Renzi, che ricordo nel 2016 tra l'altro ha dato un più 30% al Global Fund proprio di Gates. Ci sono gli amici di Aspen come Sasson e Colau, che con i suoi report di 4 pagine da 800 euro l'ora, senza alcuna revisione scientifica, ci detta la sua politica da generale del Bilderberg ben lontano dal campo di battaglia. Ma l'elenco è lungo, molto lungo. Ci sarebbe anche la Medtronic di Arcuri, eccetera, eccetera. Il contributo italiano all'Alleanza Internazionale contro il Coronavirus sarà di 140 milioni di euro, di cui 120 a Gavi Alliance, proprio la no profit creata dalla Fondazione Gates. E sono solo una parte dei 7 miliardi di euro recuperati dalla Commissione europea per trovare i vaccini contro il coronavirus, che serviranno proprio a quanto sopra descritto. Nulla ovviamente per la sieroterapia, che ovviamente ha il terribile effetto collaterale di costare pochissimo, tanto meno per non parlare della prevenzione, quella vera, che riguarda il nostro stile di vita, la nostra alimentazione e il nostro rapporto con l'ambiente. Il vero obiettivo di tutto questo è il controllo totale, il dominio assoluto sugli esseri umani, ridotti a cavie e schiavi, violandone sovranità e libero arbitrio. Il tutto tramite i vostri inganni travestiti da compromessi politici. Allora, mentre voi stracciate il codice di Norimberga con TSA, multe, deportazioni, riconoscimento facciale e intimidazioni, avallate dallo scientismo dogmatico protetto dal nostro pluripresidente della Repubblica, che è la vera epidemia culturale di questo paese, noi fuori con i cittadini moltiplicheremo i fuochi di resistenza in modo tale che vi sia impossibile reprimerci tutti. Le chiedo gentilmente, Presidente...
Colleghi deputati, questo è un Parlamento libero dove ciascuno ha diritto di esprimere le proprie opinioni e ognuno è tenuto a rispettarle. Se non le condivide, a sua volta ha la libertà di manifestare il proprio pensiero. Basta con questo atteggiamento.
Grazie, Presidente.
Prego, concluda.
Concludo. Chiedo a lei, Presidente, di farsi portavoce di un consiglio al nostro Presidente Conte. Caro Presidente Conte, la prossima volta che riceve una telefonata dal filantropo Bill Gates, la inoltri direttamente alla Corte Penale Internazionale per i crimini contro l'umanità. Diversamente ci dica come dovremmo definire l'amico avvocato che prende ordini da un criminale. Grazie.
Amen. Amen to that. Give that lady a hand. Thank you for the ice cream. Really appreciate it. Wow. Let's see if this really happens. I hope it does. So thank you very much. I appreciate all of you. I'm going to open the chest real quick on our way out. God bless the President of the United States, Vice President, military, law enforcement, men and women of the Coast Guard also, and doctors, nurses, Border Patrol. God bless all of you. I do appreciate all of you coming in. Okay, I was looking for my thing. So, you know, this is really a energetic time. Things are really starting to come to pass. Who would expect people want Bill Gates' head on a rack, like Italy? So I'm just saying Italy wants it. I don't need any misconstructions here, but God bless all of you, even the Democrats. I hope you see the light. Please walk away. Keep the walk away movement moving. And we actually had Brendan Straka here in Michigan for a protest a few weeks back, and Sheriff Clark. So we really need to keep on fighting. We cannot give up. We got to free our states, reopen them, make sure voter fraud does not happen. So it is more of an exciting time. It is, this is what people have been wanting. They've been waiting for. we must stay strong. We must stay together. And once again, if you are a Democrat and you are tired of this garbage, because this all affects you as well, you are not working. You still have to support your family and your friends. So on that topic, let's support each other. Doesn't matter your politics. It doesn't matter. What matters is we are human beings. We all need to get along in this world, and we need, especially this country, at a critical time. Even though this quote pandemic, I think that's overused too, is pretty much winding down. Movie time. Got 50. How much did you get? I can't see because of my glasses. 56 lemons. Congratulations. So we must support each other. If you know of somebody who is elderly, please help them. If you know somebody who lives alone, be a friend. If they are alone, they need some help, give a hand. We all must do our part and be kind to one another. And if you still come across people who are sleeping, so to speak, talk to them, but do it in a way where it's slow, they can digest being red-pilled and understand the seriousness of what our republic is going through. And we cannot allow this to go Democrat anymore. We must take this House back. We must continue to have the Senate, and we must get Donald J. Trump reelected again, and that will make America even greater. And anybody who is on the fence, try to talk them off that fence to our side, because it's just going to make everything much better. And I do, and I still will predict arrests are coming either near the end of the year or close to, probably a little after the new year. It can't be much farther. We're starting to see more evidence spew out like a dam. It was fractured because of the Flynn case being thrown out, and now the cracks are becoming much wider and more apparent. It's stuff you cannot deny. If you are a person who doesn't like the president, stop for a minute. Is your family better off? What is the thing? Is your family better off than what they were in the before the last administration, who gave away all of our jobs? This president has brought our jobs back. He has taken care of our farmers. He has taken care of us. He is taking care of our national security. He is doing a fantastic, amazing job, and we must support him, pray for him, pray for each other. For goodness sakes. God bless you. Have a great night, and I will see you soon. I will probably be on a little bit of short scopes for a couple days because I got more things to deal with, and I will be on Speakeasy more than likely. So I will try to get back on Sunday night. I am working on a regular time on Tuesdays. I haven't picked a time yet. And good night, guys. Thank you for joining. I do appreciate it. So I'm getting that taken care of. I'm in the process. So takes a little time, a lot to do. Have a great night.